What's up YouTube? For tonight's video we have a Sunstone Evolution team. Now this team consisted of 5 Pokemon, which made things pretty challenging, but as you guys know, I love a challenge. Oh my goodness, look at that amazing profile picture, that orange square. Blows my mind. So with this team, I think I've actually done most of the Stone Evolution teams. I think there might be like Dust Stone and Shiny Stone. I think they're the only ones I haven't done. Don't quote me on that one, but I think the rest of the ones have actually done. Anyway, people, these battles were done in my chat. If you'd like to battle me, I take battles there every day at a random time. Also, if you'd like to submit any artworks, I do have a little artwork section at the end of this video too. Anyone is free to do that. If they've got any fan art or funny stuff, leave it on my Twitter, post it on my Twitter, and that's where I grab them. Alright, so we have a Seadra lead. Not the greatest matchup for Seadra because I'm using Heliptile. And this is... let's go over what these sets were. This team was really, really weak, and it took me quite a few battles. So I had Electric Terrain on this set. I had Max Speed, Max Special Attack. Now I had the Terrain Extender as the item, so that made my Electric Terrain extend from... normally it's 5 turns, so that actually makes it 8 turns, which is good. Now I had Rain Dance on this set. I also had Surf and Thunder. So the terrain, Electric Terrain boosted the power of Thunder. Rain Dance made it 100% actually, and Rain Dance boosted the power of Surf as well. So it's a pretty good set. Out of, I guess it was probably one of the best Pokemon on my team. Right, so that's the Slandered down because that would have like basically swept my whole team. My team was very, very weak to fire types, right? There was a lot of times where I just got absolutely shreked and walled. So now I have this Lily. This thing was really, really bulky and annoying and hard to get by. So I've got the Mighty Sunken here. This Sunken was an absolutely amazing set. This was a Max Health, Max Special Defense, Curse, my favorite healing move, C-Bomb, and Toxic, item Everlight, and obviously the ability Chlorophyll. So I wanted to run a sunny day, obviously, on as many sets as I could. So poisoning the Seadra. Now Seadra, normally when you see Seadra, it's normally like a bulky defensive wall, Everlight, or it could be a special sweeper too, or a physical sweeper. Anyway, so it's going to go for the Octazooka. That's going to drop my accuracy by 1 stage. Doesn't do a lot of damage, and now I'm going to heal myself back. So I thought, if I can get 1 curse up, go for the Seed Bomb. That should be enough to actually take this out because it's already taken some prior damage from the Toxic, and that's starting to rack up too. The idea is to try, sort of like snowball with this set and then spam Seed Bomb and heal off the damage. Alright, so it's going to go for the Ice Beam. I tanked that with my Special Defense bulky Sunken. Going for the Curse. That's going to give me a +1 in defense and attack. I know that it's not going to hit like super duper hard, obviously, but after a +1 and that poison racking up, I was expecting that to nearly actually go down after the poison damage. So Seadra's going to go for yet another Ice Beam. My fingers were crossed. My little sprout was crossed that I did not get Freeze Hacks. I didn't, and C-Bomb misses due to the actually dropped earlier on. Oh, from the Octazooka. Man, that's so salty. Like, I wanted to see how much that would do. Like, I was guessing it would get very close to taking it out. Anyway, so my Sunken is down, and not the greatest start in the world. Sunken is probably like one of the worst Pokemon to use. That's why I love using it. It's very, very fun. And I want to use a physical one too. So the Sunlight is going to disappear on the field, and I'm swapping in my Cottony now. Now, Cottony was probably the bulkiest Pokemon on a team. It was more of a support Pokemon, as it usually is, and just a general pain in the bum. Let's go over what this set was. So this was a Max Health, Max Special Defense set. On this I had, obviously, Prankster Everlight. I had Leech Seed, Stun Spore, Swagger, and Giga Drain. So Giga Drain, so in case I got taunted or something. And the idea is to Stun Spore the opponent, paralyzing them, and then going for the Swagger, so you get the get that nice little combo going. Set the Leech Seed up, getting some health recovery back, and then start spamming Giga Drain. Worked pretty well most of the time. Anyway, we have the Hippopotas coming out. This thing is really, really tanky, so the best I could do is probably just set up a Leech Seed on it, and Giga Drain won't really do too much. It's got nice bulk, especially in the sand. So now it's going to go for a Curse, which is bad, because it's already like really, really tanky in defense too, and if it does have Everlight already, there's no way I'm going to be able to get around this, and if it has Slack Off, that could be a big, big problem too. Anyway, so I got the Leech Seed up, which is good. Now I was thinking, I could go for Swagger here. I could make the Hippopotas hit itself in Confusion Right. That'd be really, really handy. And then I could go for the Stun Spore and then try that. So I went for the Stun Spore first and paralyzed the Hippopotas. And now it's going to go for a Rock Slide. It has +1 in attack. I'm not sure if it's like bulk is in its defenses, but judging on the damage it did to me, I'm guessing it definitely is. Now that Sand is annoying because that's going to get rid of my Sunny Day. Now, it was a big priority to get rid of the Hippopotas, not only because it was very bulky, it got rid of my Sunny Day, which helped out a lot of my Pokemon, especially with the ability Chlorophyll, making them move twice as fast in the sun. Now we have the Lilip coming out. So obviously the Lilip and the Hippopotas, you know, they're very, very good together, and they're going to work very nicely in the sun, and they're extremely bulky Pokemon. Right, so my Cottonee really can't do too much against this. I mean, there's nothing you can do. I wish I had Toxic on that set, but I didn't. So swapping my Gloom. Gloom is probably the MVP of my entire team. Let's go over what that set was. Now, I did originally plan to make this into a bulky Everlight set, like just support, but I wanted to make this into a sweeper. So what I did is I gave it max attack and I gave it max speed. I gave item Everlight, but I did actually give it just a fully offensive moveset. So I gave it Sunny Day, I gave it Sword Dance, I gave it Petal Blizzard, and I also gave it Drain Punch. So Petal Blizzard for stab, Drain Punch so I could hit like steel types and things like that. It's like this Bronzor. So anyway, I went for the Sword Dance. As I said, I had a lot of success with this Gloom. It worked really, really nicely, and probably the best Pokemon out of my whole team. So now we have the Bronzor going for Psywave, which does a random amount of damage. And now we have the Bronzor swapping out, and we have the Seadra coming back in. Sorry, not the Seadra, the Sandra. Oh my goodness, those names! The Hippopotas coming back in. Now I do have Petal Blizzard, and I do have 2 Sword Dances now. So I was like, well, I'm pretty confident I can take this thing out in one shot. 2 Sword plus 4 attack. Now that's a lot of attack. Also Adamant Nature. I was Adamant Nature myself, and relying on the Sunny Day to you know, boost my speed. So I'm going to take that in one shot. I don't think that crit actually mattered. Like plus 4 is a lot of attack, so I personally don't think that one actually mattered. So now we have the Bronzor coming out. So I've got Drain Punch. I can heal myself up. Obviously I haven't actually revealed this move yet. So that does a lot of damage. It does over half health. I was very happy with that, which was also a crit. That one obviously did matter. So I'm getting a lot of my health back, and now the Bronzor's going to go for Psywave yet again. As I said, Psywave is a psychic type move, and it does like a random roll of damage. It can be very dangerous if you keep getting like hit by the max rolls. Anyway, so going for the Drain Punch, and that's not going to take it out. Now, in hindsight, I think that crit earlier on didn't matter too much, because I still think it was about a 3-hit KO with all that damage. It could have been a 4-hit KO, I guess, if I got all min damage, but my Gloom is hanging on 20 health. That's going to be enough to take out the Bronzor. So Gloom really getting me back into this game where things weren't looking too good. It required a little bit of setup, sure, but it was with the Everlight, it was bulky enough to actually live an attack and you know, go for a Sword Dance afterwards. Okay, so that's Bronzor down. So they had the Hippopotas, the Bronzor, and the Lilip, all very bulky Pokemon. Alright, so now we have the Mincenter coming in. I've got to swap that out. I'm going to go into Cottonee to tank whatever hit this throws at me. It's going to be a U-turn, so that's cool. I kept my Gloom alive just in case I was able to get another Sunny Day up. Then I could throw it in and go for the Drain Punch against that maybe later on in the match. So now we have the Lilip coming in. I've got to get around this thing. It's so bulky. As I said, I cannot touch it with my Cottonee at all. The best thing I can do is maybe go into my Petilil here and maybe just go as much as I can, use my Z move, and then go for the Drain Punch on it. Then it's going to go for a Stockpile, and that's really bad. This is where things start to get bad, because it's got a +1 in the defense and a +1 in special defense. So I went for the Sunny Day anyway. I had to get that going so I could start firing off my Solar Beams. Now this Petilil set was a max speed, max special attack. I had Sunny Day, Solar Beam, Sleep Powder, and Dream Eater. I had Gracium Z as the item, so I could go for the Gracium Z Solar Beam. And also, ability was Chlorophyll too, so I could get my speed boost in the sun. Anyway, so go for the Bloom Doom. I knew this wouldn't do like too much, because Lilip is very bulky. Plus, it's already got a stockpile up too, so I wasn't expecting anything amazing. This thing doesn't have a lot of special attack either, so it was the best move I could possibly do against it. And for some reason, if I didn't have the Sunny Day up and I couldn't use Solar Beam, I could just simply go for the Z move and attack straight away, if I was like forced to do that. Anyway, so going for the Bloom Doom does a little bit more damage than I actually thought. Does it half health? I was quite happy with that. Now the Lilip's going to go for the Ancient Power, almost taking me out. I'm thinking at this point, after that damage, that this didn't have Everlight, because that did too much for it not to have Everlight. So I'm thinking maybe it's got a Z Crystal or something, or a different item. I wasn't sure what I had. Anyway, so I knew that it would have Recover, unfortunately, so that's going to recover off all the damage that I did to it. There's really nothing I can do apart from go for the Solar Beam, or keep going for the Solar Beam until I faint. So going for Solar Beam again, hoping the Lilip is not going to heal off again. and I'm going to do as much damage as I possibly do before I faint. So Solar Beam doing good damage, and now I'm going to get hit by the Giga Drain. Now that's my Patili down. Patilo, I can't say these names very well. I still got a little bit of cough in my throat too, so like a little bit before I had to like pause for a second because I had like this massive coughing fit. Anyway, so now we have the Gloom coming in. I can go for the Drain Punch or risk the Sword Dance. So I've got to go for Drain Punch. This thing is going to go for the attack. Drain Punch just misses the kill there. That +1 in defense saved the Lileep. And I'm going to get a little bit of health recovery, which is nice, giving me up to 50 health. Now, the Lileep is going to go for the Ancient Power, trying to get a boost and take me out at the same time. I tanked that just due to that, you know, that Everlight. That definitely helped, and obviously the health recovery from Drain Punch too. I'm going to go for another Drain Punch and take out the Lileep. Now, it turned out, obviously, that wasn't an Everlight set. It was max health and max special attack, so it was like a bulky sweeping one. I think they had Normalium Z as the item too, after seeing the stockpile. Right, now we have Amino coming in. There's not much I can do. It's going to be able to outspeed me and go for the knockoff, taking out my Gloom, but that's all good. So I've got Cottony left, and I've got, yeah, that's it. I've only got Cottony left, and my Cottony Sunspore Swagger combo on my Cottony. So I went for the Sunspore, hoping this one would not miss. That was just to slow it down a little bit. I also got my Helio as well. I really can't say that name very well. I'm just going to call it Helio. So anyway, I'm going to get hit by the knockoff. That's going to get rid of my Everlight. That's fine, I guess. If it does have a normal type move, I'm going to get hit really hard. Leech Seed actually misses. Now it's going to go for the U-turn, which is interesting. I was like, okay, maybe it doesn't have a normal type move. That's interesting. Anyway, I wait for the Giga Drain just to get some damage off. Since it's paralyzed, I knew that I could outspeed it. So that's pretty good. It was about a 3-hit KO with the Giga Drain. Now it's going to go for another U-turn against me, and I actually tanked that one just due to the Giga Drain's health recovery. So that was really nice. Going for another Giga Drain on the Cincino. Man, I always mess those two up all the time. Getting a little bit more health recovery. Now it's going to reveal its normal type move, which is Flail. So obviously Flail's a normal type move. The stronger it gets as the health decreases. Right, so my last Pokemon is going to be able to take this out. I'm faster, obviously, due to Paralyze, and I'm going to just simply go for the Surf and take that one out. But I hope you guys enjoyed this first battle. It was really fun, and let's get on to the second battle. So that was a... That was nice. That was a nice close battle. So the second battle we had, this was actually a 5v5, so it was quite interesting. Apart from these 2 to 3 battles that I've got, most of the battles I lost with this team. Okay, starting this battle off, we have the Cottony lead again. I like to lead with Cottony. It was just really, really good. And this bit I'm going to speed up. So we had Cargar Binks, which is basically an Assault Vest Carbink taking the piss out of Jar Jar Binks from Star Wars, the most useful character you could ever imagine. So I'm guessing for them to be able to use Struggle straight away, they had an Assault Vest and they had all status moves, and they're basically just memeing Jar Jar Binks. So I'm going to take that out with the Giga Drain and Struggle combo. So, very interesting lead there, Cargar Binks. I like that name. Now we have Mr. Mime coming in. So I was like, what is this battle at the moment? So Mr. Mime's going to go for the Fake Out. It's going to be a physical Mr. Mime, which is interesting. I like that. It's got some interesting moves. I went for the Leech Seed just to get that up on the Mr. Mime in case, you know, I get swept by it. So I know it gets a couple of physical boosting moves. Now we have the Mr. Mime going for the Fly MZ. And I thought this would be Aerial Ace because I know Mr. Mime's moveset pretty well. So I was a little bit worried. I'm like, well, all of my Pokemon, or most of my Pokemon, you know, they're weak to like flying type moves, them being all grass types and everything like that. So it's basically fire types and grass types that I was, you know, getting absolutely destroyed by. Anyway, so I'm getting hit by the Mr. Mime, and man, if they had any sort of like attack boost, I would have got one-shotted. So I was very fortunate that didn't happen. So Leech Seed giving me a little bit of extra health, and Mr. Mime taking a little bit more damage. But I know they're not going to take like another Aerial Ace from this thing, so I went for the Stun Spore to slow the Mr. Mime down before, you know, I'm going to get fainted. The good thing about prank, like obviously this is I can get the Pranks to Stun Spore off against any like really fast Pokemon, like any fast fire types, flying types. That's basically what I use the Stun Spore for. Right, so Cottony's down. I'm going to swap in Hilo now. I thought I could maybe set up against this thing because it is paralyzed. So I decided to set up the Electric Terrain. That's going to give me 8 turns of Electric Terrain, which is nice too. Now, I know this thing can get like a physical Psychic type move, but it's going to get paralyzed, so that's good. I knew that it wasn't going to use like Aerial Ace either. I knew they had like must have some like other better moves than that. So I had Fake Out and I had Aerial Ace. So I thought, well, let's set up the Rain Dance here because that's pretty good. I can get everything set up on this set, and then I could, you know, try and start sweeping with it. So I've got my electric train up, I've got the rain dance up, and now Mr. Mime's going to go for a double slap. What is this set? So a double slap can actually hit more than, double or 2 times, which is interesting. So I get a little bit of dry skin back there, which is nice. So I'm thankful that didn't hit me 5 times because that would have taken most of my health. So I've got the leech seed and the dry skin working for me, which is really good. So I'm getting lots of my health back. Now I can freely go for the thunder since I'm going to always hit in the rain, and it's going to get boosted by the electric terrain as well. And poor Mr. Mime is not going to be able to lift that one. So 2 very interesting sets to start this battle off. I do like the interesting sets, I have to admit, they are very funny. Car bar. What was it? Car Binks or something. So now we have our Pinchy coming in. I can go for the thunder again, but damn son, it's a special Kingler and it outspeeds me and it's going to take me out with a mud shot. What? So it's like I actually ran a set like a very similar set that to myself too. So now we have the Sunkern coming in. So I thought, well, I can get the big boy up with the curses and start going for the Seed Bomb. I might be able to get a Toxic on this one too. So it's going to Scald me, which doesn't do too much damage. I don't get a burn, which is nice, so that I'm going to be able to get the Toxic off against the Kingler. The best I could possibly do. I thought it'd be better to, rather going for the Seed Bomb. Kingler has nice base defense and Sunkern's attack stat is basically trash. So I thought a Toxic overall would be better. So now it's going to have Ice Beam as well. I thought it might have like an Ice type move. And Sunkern is just going to take that. I'm being a little bit cocky and went for the Curse there. I was hoping I could tank like another Skull. I thought they were might continue to go for the Skull to try and burn me. But that was not the case. So Sunkern is going to go down the next turn. There wasn't much it could do here. Not having much luck with it. I had like a couple of battles where Sunkern did really well. But then like all the other Pokemon got like wrecked. And then something came in and critted me. Like it just kind of sucked. Anyway, so I went for the Seed Bomb. I think the Kingler actually missed its Mud Shot, I think, or whatever it was. And it's going to go down to the Toxic very soon. Now Sunkern's on 5 health. There's nothing much it can do, and the Kingler's going to finish me off with the Mud Shots. That's fine, and that's my Sunkern down. So I've got 2 more Pokemon remaining, and opponent has 3 more Pokemon. So we've got so far we've had Car Binks, which was an Assault Vest struggle set. We had Mr. Mime, Airways, Sky MZ, Mr. Mime, and now we have Pinchy the Kingler with Ice Beam and Mud Shot. Very nice sets, I like that. So now we have the Meowth coming in. I've got my Gloom. I've got Drain Punch in this. I thought, well, Drain Punch is going to be a solid 2-hit KO. I might be able to get the Sun up against this thing. However, it's going to go for a Fake Out Normal Gem. That's going to get boosted, obviously, in power, and I'm going to get Flinch. So this is where things start to get annoying. The Meowth has Covet. Now what Covet does is a normal type move, and that actually also steals the opponent's item. So it's actually going to steal my Everlight, making me not as bulky as before, and obviously making the Meowth a little bit more bulky too. So I've got the Sunny Day up. That's going to allow me to outspeed the Meowth and start attacking. So I thought, there's no way I can fit like another Sword Dance in. This thing's going to take me out. So I went for the Drain Punch for recovery, almost taking out the Meowth, but not enough damage. But the main thing there was I did damage and I recovered myself off. So now the Meowth is going to go for the U-turn, just doing a little bit of damage to me. I can see there if I got hit by like a normal type move stab, that definitely would have been nearly enough to take me out. So the last Pokemon they've got is the Goomy, or the Gaston. Right, I can't really do too much apart from just attack this thing. It's going to go for the Protect. So I was like, okay, that's not too bad. I could have got a Sword Dance off there. I was like, bugger, that sucks. I went for the Drain Punch. It's going to hit the Protect. So I thought about going for Sword Dance this turn, but I thought, nah, let's go for Drain Punch again. And that does like well over half health. So I'm like, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Getting some nice, lovely health recovery back. Now the Goomy is going to get a Gooey against me. That's actually going to drop my speed in the sun. And it's going to have Count. I'm like, oh, damn it. So obviously, Counter is going to counter my attack, doing times 2 the damage. So that Drain Punch that I did, it's basically going to do like times 2 that back to my Gloom. Obviously, that's going to be one-shotting me. So my last Pokemon is my Petilil. It's going to go for the Endure. So that's going to endure any attack I throw at it. The funny thing is, I actually didn't really have much to hit Goomy at all, outside of not very effective attacks, being my Solar Beam. So going for the Solar Beam on the Goomy, I knew this wouldn't even take it down to 1 health, and that's fine. So the Sunlight is going to fade. I've got to go for the Sunny Day again so I can start firing off my Solar Beams. I've got one more Pokemon, which is the Meow, so I'm saving my Z move for that, because it's got so much health left. So I can go for the Solar Beam here. Now it's going to go for Flail because it's on low health. That does over half health. It actually gets a critical hit against me. I was like, bugger, that's really bad because if you remember, that Meowth actually has Fake Out. So even if I'm faster in the sun, it's going to be able to at least be able to take me once first. Going for another Solar Beam on the Goomy. I was like, please do not actually like Please do not leave or something after this, or outspeed me, or have some crazy attack. So that's not going to be the case, and it really can't do much apart from go for the flail and endure. So that's down. So after it burnt up its counter, I'm guessing that was the strategy, obviously with the endure and counter. So that's down, but Goomy did a fine job there. I've run like a similar set on mine, not with endure, like some other attack. I think I popped Draco Meteor on there just for a little bit of coverage. Alright, so the last Pokemon is the Meowth. It's going to go for a fake out, and I leave on 3 health. Woo! So the sun is still up. I've got the Chlorophyll in play, and I thought, oh, bug it, let's go for the Z move here and like bury this Meowth. But man, that was an interesting battle. Like at the start, it was like the full like memes and jokes, but then it got pretty serious as the battle went on, and a very close one. Hope you guys enjoyed this team. It was very, very difficult, like especially to get like even just get like even battles out of this one. Like I just kept getting swamped every single time. Now, I hope I narrated as good as I possibly could. I've still got a little bit in my throat. I'm hoping that'll go by the end of the week. And that's about it for this battle. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.